Kapowians, welcome to Winterfest. We're here at King's Oval in Paramatta. I'm Jill.
And I'm Elliott.
And we're going to show you everything medieval. We've got jousting, we've got forging, swords, armour, you name it, unicorns.
Hey.
We've got unicorns. What's coming up on the show?
Oh, we got a really amazing review of Season 6 of Game of Thrones and a very special guest interview. I don't want to give too much away, but stick around, guys. Hey guys, I'm here with Paul Michael from Full Flight. So tell us about this bird and what you guys are up to.
Okay, we're here from Full Flight. We're a birds of prey centre from Ballarat in Victoria. So we do a lot of wildlife conservation, education, that sort of thing. So we're here at Winterfest doing an impression of King Frederick II's falconry encampment. So I'm the Bazyari, the Persian falconer, and we're just displaying the birds of prey and how they were used in medieval times.
Excellent. And what type of bird do we have here?
This is a wedge-tailed eagle. His name's Zorro. He's 12 years old. He weighs about 3.2 kilograms.
Wow, incredible. And what's with the cap?
It's called a hood. It's part of his furniture.
Yep.
In the medieval times, they used it for training. We still use them today for most of his training. He doesn't wear it when he's at home in his enclosures, and he doesn't wear it when he's travelling. But he does wear it when he's in an environment where there's lots of foreign things to him. So it just keeps him calm and stops him from getting stressed, and just keeps him nice and chill. Yeah.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And what does Zorro like to eat?
Meat, every kind of meat.
Right.
Yeah. He lives on a diet of things like rabbit and lamb, quail, chicken, pigeon, duck, goose. Yeah. So he eats better than I do.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. And how fast can it fly?
He doesn't fly fast. Usually an eagle like this would hunt similar to a hawk. So he hunts in short distance and he hunts things that are on the ground. And he can hunt big, powerful things. Like in medieval times, they would use him to hunt stag.
Wow.
In Mongolia, they use him to hunt wolves. A wedge-tailed eagle in Australia can kill a red kangaroo. So it would hunt just by landing on its head and then using these huge, powerful talons to crush the skull of the prey. So
incredible, incredible.
It's a powerful hunter.
Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah.
Is it very rare these days to see these types of birds like Zorro?
In the 1970s, the numbers were declining and they were endangered, but nowadays the numbers are well and truly back up in the wild and they're fairly commonplace now. They're still protected.
Yep.
We operate under a zoo license, so the centre that we work for has the top licence that you can have for wildlife in Australia. So, legally we'd be allowed to keep things like tigers and whales and things like that, but we specialise in birds of prey. So.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for talking with Kapow.
I'm here with Fiona and Tivy from the Historical Equestrian Games Australia, and they're going to tell us about the beautiful unicorns and what they do. Fiona?
So our lovely, lovely unicorns. This is Oberon. He's actually 26 years old, and he's come into doing skillet arms and being a unicorn late in life. His breed is he's a purebred Arabian, as is Zara over there, and they're very, very well known for their longevity. And he's turned his hoof to something new, and so Tivy rides him. And they both do very well together. They use the sword and the lance on targets and do cuts and do thrusts through the rings and pick up the rings with the sword. The spinning quintain, which if you saw it, it's a shield. And you go along at it really fast and you whack it with the lance and it spins around. And so all these things are practicing what people used to do to practice to actually go into battle, right? So the rings are at the height of a head, so it's as if you're stabbing a head or slashing a head. And for the quintain, the spinning quintain, that's as if you're hitting another knight on a horse. So it's all practice for that. and this is what we learn how to do, and it's just all really a lot of fun. We have a lot of different people coming. We've got big Clydesdales to smaller horses like Oberon here. We've got younger people, older people, and just people who are looking for something a little bit different and, you know, engaging with their inner warrior a little bit. And we come along and have a lot of fun.
So if someone wants to come along and learn how to do some, you know, medieval battling, do you guys do that too? You teach jousting and all that sort of stuff?
We're teaching skill at arms at the moment. We'll be doing some jousting as it comes along. We're also, we've done a little bit of horseback archery, and we'll be expanding into that a little bit more. Mainly it's a skill at arms at the moment. We're on the web and we're on Facebook. On the web we are historicalequestriangames.com.au.
Great, thank you so much, Fiona.
All right.
It's been interesting to learn all about these beautiful horses. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hey guys, we're at the Winter Festival Medieval Fair. I'm Elliott,
I'm Jill.
and today we're going to give you a recap and a little bit of our thoughts about Season 6 of Game of Thrones.
I thought he was the man to lead us through the long night, but I was wrong.
Do you like games, little man?
You would spill blood in this holy place.
The gods won't mind. They spill more blood than the rest of us combined.
I loved this season. I mean, I think every other season before has been really interesting, and it's all been really building up to this moment. It was intense from start to finish. There was not a dull moment.
Yeah, definitely. And we had a few resurrections, a few deaths, some great battles. Yeah. Overall, how do you think Season 6 kind of went in the scheme of Seasons 1 to now?
I feel like everything that we've been going through has now come to its boiling point. And the next 2 seasons that are going to wrap this up, I think, is going to be way more intense than what we've seen now. So everybody's got their plans in place. They're all pumped up and ready to go. So we're going to see who gets the Iron Throne.
What do you think is the highest point of this season?
The battle. The second last episode, the Battle of the Bastards, that was phenomenal. The choreography, the special effects, everything that was part of that was insanely good. I loved that episode. Another highlight for me this season has been the ladies of Game of Thrones. We saw Cersei take the Iron Throne at the end of the season. We've seen Sansa really come into her own and beat her oppressors. We're seeing Arya, with her hit list, she's kicking butts now. And, MVP of the whole season, Lyanna Mormont. I loved her so much. The 10-year-old leader of Bear Island was just so badass.
Anything negative about the season?
Not that I can think of, really. I've enjoyed it from start to finish. I mean, in previous seasons you've had a dull episode every now and again, but now that they're moving away from the books, I feel like the showrunners have sort of got a bit of free reign now, and they can, just make it up as they go along and do what they want and really give us something to look forward to every week.
Yeah, definitely. I really, like you, I didn't have anything bad to say about it. I think all the revelations, because we got quite a few about the backstories of some of the villains and some of the people that maybe have only been able to say one word about themselves. I thought it was pretty great. But I think I don't have anything negative to say, but the revelations were just amazing. I mean, the White Walker's backstory.
Yeah, even the hint at Jon Snow's heritage too.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
Going to make for exciting stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
so we got a whole lot to look forward to in Season 7. I think I'm just as anxious as I was from Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about waiting for Season 7.
It's hard to wait, isn't it?
It is, definitely. I give this 5 out of 5.
Totally. Yeah, I'm going to rewatch the whole season later, just binge it all in one day probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan, actually.
5, yeah.
Is there anything else, Jill, that you might have
Yeah, well, later in the show, guys, stick around. We've got an interview with Lancel Lanister from Game of Thrones that we got at Supernova. So thanks for joining us here at Winterfest, and keep watching.
Sitting here with Eugene Simon. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. It's great to be here. Last day, and everyone's been absolutely wonderful. So it's been great to be here.
And so this is your first time at Supernova? You've been to Australia before?
My first time in Australia, my first time in Sydney, my first time in Supernova. So there is a lot of new going on today. So
it's the first time talking to me, which is a big one.
First time talking to Seizure, first time knowing this camera woman, first time seeing this. There's a lot of firsts going on. So yeah, it's been a good day.
I've got a curveball for you.
Okay.
What is Game of Thrones?
What is Game of Thrones?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, right.
No, I'm kidding. It's a great show.
Oh my God, I was going to say, that felt like almost a philosophical question. Yeah. Well, what is Game of Thrones?
But with the series so far, how they're now ahead of the books, are you enjoying the direction it's going in?
I am. I mean, I like the fact that we have an opportunity to kind of sort of go on a tangent away from the books, because so many of the characters that people enjoy in the books have been shown in a kind of new light from the way that Dan, David and Brian have written it, and there's something about that which gives the fans a lot of opportunity to see just the different parts of those characters' personalities. It just allows them to be kind of explored in a new light, and I think Lancel's a pretty good example of that. I mean, in the books he's supposed to be a kind of long, grey-haired, very thin, sort of foot in one coffin kind of guy, but we painted him as a rather empowered and, you know, sort of thuggish bully in some ways. And there's something about showing him in the light that we have that I think is a very good, that I think has done the show some favours.
You're in Australia, you're almost done your trip, you're going to come back in a few years, you're going to blow people away. Is there anything you want to say out to the fans out there?
Just everyone who's watching, thanks for watching it, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of season 6. As I say to most people, you're probably going to be emotionally traumatised the next time I see you. So if you can see it, let me know what you think on my Twitter account, which is just behind me, which is Eugene_Simon. And otherwise, hope you enjoyed Supernova.
I'm here with Andrew. Now, he's an event coordinator for Winterfest, and he also jousts, don't you,
I do,
Andrew?
yeah. Man of many hats.
So tell me about the history of Winterfest.
When we started 10 years ago, this is our 10-year anniversary this year. We started from a small group of reenactors basically wanting to come together to provide an educational experience, but also to refund not only reenactment, but also various and sundry community activities. And it's grown every year, so it's now turned into something like this.
Well, this is the first time I've ever been to an event like this, and I've got to say, I'm loving it. It's phenomenal. There's so much to see. So how do you get in contact with the people that have these, you know, very unique backgrounds?
Well, I'm in an unusual position, being a person that jousts as well, and a representative fighter that's represented Australia and in various and sundry other fields. I was kind of a point of contact, and there were a number of groups that basically came together, and we sat down and figured out an idea that's just steamrolled into this. So it's been wonderful.
The knights that we just saw earlier fighting each other. Can you tell us a bit about the group that does that?
The group that you would have just seen were Uppsala. They're a fight group. There's a number of units actually that make up Uppsala, from anything from HMB, which are the heavy metal combat guys, literally heavy metal. But they've also represented Australia in Prague at some of the international competitions, and they've done fairly well. If you see a gentleman by the name of Fuzz, he's a tall, hulking fellow, and he's certainly got some stories about fighting the Russians and the Croatians. So.
Wow, okay, that sounds really cool. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us. It's been really great to learn about Winterfest.
Oh, thank you very much. My pleasure.
Okay, I'm here with Paul and Stuart of Staccato, the medieval martial arts school. They're going to tell us a bit about what they do. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So tell us about Staccato.
So Staccato School of Defence is a club, or really a series of clubs now. We've got branches everywhere. And we teach historical European martial arts as they were taught in various periods from the 13th century all the way up to the 19th century, and according to the manuals that people wrote down at the time. So the earliest one in existence is from the 13th century. It's a sword and buckler manual from Germany. And we do mostly swords, but also other weapons such as quarterstaves, and even sort of medieval dagger and 19th century gypsy knife fighting, and wrestling, of course, because grappling's a big part of swordsmanship.
So this is a 16th century Fechtschwert or Fetischwert. It's a German solution to training blades. It's narrower than a real sword and it's thicker than a real sword, which makes it both more durable and makes it hit less hard. So right now we're going to demonstrate some documented techniques from the 16th century manual of Joachim Meyer. So we are in a guard that's imaginatively called the Oberhut. And Paul delivers a downright blow to my ear, which is called an Oberhau. So in response to that Oberhau, I cross onto his blade, and then uncross into his face. That's called a Krumpau.
Let's do that at speed.
So is there any sort of like role play involved with, do you guys do LARPing or just the school like of defence?
Yeah, we do. We just teach it as a martial art. And while some of our members do reenactment or LARPing or things like that, we're really about doing the actions and not the dressing up. Okay. So a lot of what we wear is historically accurate armour because the period solution to safety is often the best and it works. But we will also use modern fencing equipment such as a fencing mask or cricket pads for the legs or any bit of sporting equipment that allows us to do the techniques accurately even if we don't necessarily look like a real knight or a Viking.
Okay. Now where can people find you if they want to get involved?
Look up staccata.org, which is our homepage, and we have clubs all over Sydney and also elsewhere in New South Wales, Canberra and Newcastle and in Tasmania. So there's bound to be a night that suits you or a location that is geographically suitable if you're interested.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, I'm here with Spooner. How's it going, mate?
Oh, pretty good.
Excellent. What are you here for today?
Oh, we're doing a combat fight for the Winterfest festival in Paramatta. So our group's one of the more combat-oriented groups here. There's a lot of other groups that do other things like more history-focused, but we tend to, beat the living snot out of each other just for fun.
Well, it looks a lot like fun. I mean, look at this. This is amazing work. Did you guys make all these?
No. Most of it's actually done by either a blacksmith or mass-produced, depending on the quality of it. Usually the blacksmith-done ones like this thing, usually pretty damn sturdy.
Yeah, definitely. And is it hard to get the right accuracy?
Really depends on how HA you're going. Like, I could get away with quite a lot here with the kit that I'm wearing. Yep. I pretty much can kind of slot into most of the Dark Ages and some into close to early Renaissance because poor people didn't really change their attire. It kind of changed which colours were popular.
Excellent. And what's your favourite age to fight in?
That around... you're looking 13th, 14th century. You're looking at the 100 Years' War between France and England because, there's a lot of fun and pretty much anything goes for equipment. Stuff from the start, stuff from the end. You can have a helmet from the end and a breastplate from the start.
Excellent. Well, Spoon, I've got to ask you, what's your favourite weapon here?
I use a teeny tiny punch shield and a sword.
Not in a literal sense, because that would be, stone.
Don't cheer for it!
You can feel part of this Sir Darrell has been dealing with horses his entire life. Thundering through once more.
Guys, that's it for us at the Medieval Fair at Winterfest. So Jill, what do you think about the whole festival?
I had so much fun and I'm really glad I dressed up.
And what are you dressed up as?
Cosplaying Sansa.
Oh, of course. Sansa from Game of Thrones, second place. She made her costume. Great sewer.
I had a really fun day.
Yeah, had an amazing day. So please subscribe and tune in next time for more Kapow.